Let me show you by an illustration that we have the law on top there. Anyone who breaks it should receive the downpour of its vengeance. But yet, we have an umbrella of grace here that has taken that downpour, and he has taken all that vengeance so that we don't cover it. So in essence, we are under grace and not under the law in that context. But that does not take away that the law is no more there. It does not mean we should continue breaking that law. It only means that the debt that the law is calling or is demanding from us, we don't have to pay it. Why? Because that debt is already being paid by grace up there. We see that for the wages of sin is death, and we see that sin is the transgression of the law, the command of God. Now we go back to Genesis. The command of God to Adam was that thou shalt not eat of its fruit, and in the day that you eat of it, you shall die. That was the beginning of the wages of sin being death. Now this is the essence of the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. The law demanded that Adam should die. Adam and his prosperity, because he had sinned, the law demanded that they should die. Jesus comes forth and says that, let the vengeance of the law pour on me. Let it come to me. Let you spare him. And what that means is that the law maintains its integrity. It means that when the law said you eat it, you die, and then he has eaten it, and instead of him dying, Jesus has died for him. The debt of the law has been paid, but has that taken out the law? And that's why Paul says that, what then? Shall we transgress the law? Shall we break the law because we are not under the law, but we are under grace? God forbid. Adam is no longer indebted to the law, but that does not take away the law. It only takes away the debt that he owes as demanded by the law. If he transgresses again, he is indebted anew and needs atoning sacrifice in order to live. That was the role of the sacrifice, to pay our debt to the law. It had no effect to the law. We need to understand that. The sacrifice was to pay our debts, the debts we owe by breaking the law of God. Hence, faith in the sacrifice in like manner, it does not take away the law. In fact, Paul says in the same book of Romans chapter 3 verse 31, he says that, do we then make void the law of God through faith? God forbid. Yeah, we establish the law.